Studio in South Fargo. We caught the flakes right around 4 this morning.
It's nothing that you'll need the snowblower for, but it is a sign that we are cooling down and winter is getting closer. It is now 6:48. A West Fargo police officer remains in critical care this morning after suffering a heart attack while on duty. 29-year-old Tim Brown was booking two women into the Cass County Jail early yesterday when he collapsed and became unresponsive. Jail staff performed life-saving measures and CPR along with a defibrillator. That's before he was taken to the hospital.
Before collapsing, Brown had responded to a call about two women with felony warrants on them. Police say one of the women resisted arrest and had to be physically moved into the squad car by Brown. Brown is the second West Fargo police officer to have a heart attack while on duty. Back in May, 40-year-old Lieutenant Adam Gustafson suffered a fatal heart attack at work. Police Chief Dennis Otterness hopes for a different outcome this time.
We're optimistic. There's still a chance that Officer Brown can pull through this.
According to a GoFundMe page, Officer Brown is married with two young sons, and so far that fund has raised more than $11,000 for his family. Before
he was sworn in as a West Fargo police officer earlier this month, he worked at the Memphis Police Department and spent 4 years as an active duty combat medic. Fargo police expect to release more information today about a 40-year-old man who died after being hit by a train. They say he died around 5 yesterday morning near the 1400 block of Main Avenue.
Police have identified the man, and they're expected to make that information public a little later today. Two people are hurt after the ambulance they were riding in crashed into an unoccupied car in Baudette, Minnesota. They were treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
The ambulance driver was not hurt. Troopers are still investigating what led up to the crash. Here's a traffic alert for people driving in North Fargo. Starting today, North University Drive will be reduced to 2 lanes between NP and 2nd Avenues North to allow for some underground utility work.
It's expected to be in place for about 1 week. Also today, Fargo's seasonal night parking restrictions, they kick in. They go into effect through April 15th. This is a live look at Robert Street in downtown Fargo, and pay attention to those signs for street parking now.
Yeah, the rules allow for snow removal and critical street maintenance. They run from 1 to 7 a.m. on designated days.
And so we are talking about getting ready for winter, getting ready for the plows, and Lisa has a reminder about what we need to expect when it comes to winter weather.
Yeah, it's perfect timing for what we've just seen. We've had some snow showers yesterday, as we just saw, and today, and we're looking at some conditions that are going to feel wintry here this morning as well. So it's Winter Weather Awareness Week in North Dakota, and we've gone over some of our terms, what a difference between a winter storm watch and warning is, but there are other terms we need to pay attention to as well. So just a quick reminder, blizzard warning, that is because of wind. It could mean that we've got some heavy snow falling, or it could be picking up snow on the ground. It doesn't necessarily have to be snowing. We're looking at sustained wind gusts of 35 miles per hour or greater. So again, that's going to be a winter weather warning we probably will be dealing with at some point. Ice storm warning, not something we deal with as much, but we've got to watch out for those icy transitions between the warmer weather of fall and into the winter. And that's, of course, because of accumulation of ice and those wind chill warnings. We know about those. 40 below or colder expected. So just a reminder, and maybe you're new to the valley, be ready for those kind of weather events. And we're going to be talking more about how to stay safe during the winter throughout the week here this morning. And you can check it out on our Valley News Live weather app as well. So it's quiet right now in most areas, but there are still some places where we're seeing some flurries here. One area over by Benson County, the Maddock area, and it's trying to develop into places like Carrington as well along Highway 281. And then over to the east, some flurries and flakes over in the Fosston area, dropping into Monoman County, the Bagley region as well, into Clearwater County, seeing some of that flaky activity. In Fargo, it's pretty quiet. We are looking at some dry conditions right now, but we did have that snow move through earlier. 33 degrees right now, feels like 26. So keep in mind that even if it's looking not too bad to start, we do have a wind chill. It's westerly at 8 miles per hour in Fargo. Moorhead's at the freezing mark at 32, and so is Grand Forks, 32 degrees there, with a west-northwesterly wind at 6. And that's just going to keep that cool air coming in, and it's going to keep it feeling chilly throughout the day today. So out at the bus stop, the kids are going to want that heavier coat here this morning. Again, temperatures right in that freezing range, some of us in the 20s out west, and we'll eventually see the numbers climb above freezing, but not by much. Look at our high today in Fargo. only 39. It's going to feel chilly. And we're looking at the potential for more sunshine in the south, more clouds in the north, and all of us have the possibility that we would see some flurries or flakes throughout the day today with that northwesterly wind. So today, tomorrow, and into Wednesday, that's going to be our cold stretch here. We're going to see temperatures reaching only the 30s and lows in the sub-freezing range. We do start to climb, though, as we head toward the weekend, just in time for Saturday and Sunday. We'll be back into the low 50s. So some improvements on the way, but certainly getting that taste of colder weather here today.
Yep, as we start out our November, kind of seems very fitting.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you.
Fargo police are issuing a warning after several smash and grab burglaries over 2 hours this weekend. The incidents happened within just a few blocks of each other, including the Century Cinema Theater on 9th Avenue South.
The suspects also hit vehicles parked at the Goodwill and Holiday Inn on 13th Avenue. Fargo PD is reminding people not to leave valuables like purses or bags in your car. And if you see something suspicious in a parking lot, you should call police right away.
Prosecutors in North Dakota's first and only death penalty case say defense attorneys are wrong by claiming a judge didn't go far enough in explaining why he threw out the sentence for Alfonso Rodriguez Jr. In 2003, Rodriguez was a convicted sex offender from Crookston when he kidnapped UND student Drew Shadeen from a Grand Forks shopping mall, drove her to Minnesota, where he killed her and left her body in a field near Crookston. Shadeen's disappearance sparked days of massive searches, reshaped the way Minnesota handled sex offenders, and led to the National Sex Offender Registry being renamed for Shadeen.
In September, appeals judge Ralph Erickson ordered a new sentencing phase, saying the defense team failed to consider key factors. Defense attorneys had filed a motion arguing that the judge left out Rodriguez's intellectual disability as one of those factors. In a response filed on Friday, prosecutors say Rodriguez's attorneys failed to establish the existence of a manifest error or newly discovered evidence. A Cass County judge will rule today on whether Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney can seek re-election next year. The current ordinance says a commissioner can serve 3 consecutive terms as a commissioner and 1 term as a mayor. And city attorney Eric Johnson argues that the mayor has hit his term limit and will not be eligible for re-election.
But an attorney representing Mahoney argues that the ordinance is ambiguous when it comes to successive terms. Johnson suggested that Mahoney could run again if the city commissioners clarify the language of the ordinance. Travel troubles continue for American Airlines. They've now canceled more than 1,800 flights since Friday. American is blaming staffing shortages and high winds that at times shut down its busiest airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International.
The cancellation crisis is similar to a meltdown that happened at Southwest Airlines about 3 weeks ago. The airline says about 1,800 flight attendants are returning from leave soon, and they expect to hire at least 600 more by the end of the year. The company also says it's hiring pilots and reservation agents to gear up for the holidays, and the most affected customers from today's cancellations are being rebooked on the same day. Our latest check shows that American flights out of Fargo are all listed as on time. One driver is in jail after Border Patrol agents in Texas found several dozen migrants in a locked, refrigerated tractor trailer. These photos were released by Customs and Border Patrol. The migrants were discovered after the driver of the truck had to undergo an immigration inspection where he was being questioned in regards to his citizenship.
A Border Patrol canine alerted to the trailer. When agents opened the trailer doors, they found 75 migrants inside, shivering and trying to stay warm. The trailer's refrigerator was set to 58 degrees, and the doors had been padlocked shut from the outside. Moderna's push to get its COVID vaccine approved for teens is now on hold. The company says the Food and Drug Administration needs more time to study the vaccine for children ages 12 to 17, and the review may not be done before January.
Moderna says the agency wants more time to study the risk of myocarditis in children. Myocarditis is the inflammation of the heart muscle. The New York City Fire Department is dealing with a massive sick-out in an apparent protest of the city's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Since Friday, 2,000 firefighters have called in sick and are on medical leave. All New York City employees had to have at least 1 shot by Friday to stay on the job.
As of Saturday, more than 70% of firefighters had at least 1 shot. The fire commissioner says irresponsible, bogus sick leave by some members is creating a danger for New Yorkers. The department has had to move firefighters from some parts of the city to make sure all firehouses are ready to respond to emergencies. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki has announced she has contracted COVID-19.
She was scheduled to travel with President Joe Biden to the G20 summit, but scrapped those plans after learning a member of her household had tested positive. Psaki says she is only exhibiting mild symptoms. And rock star John Bon Jovi stayed off stage at a Miami concert after he tested positive for the virus. He and some band members tested positive after they were given a rapid test.
According to a rep for the band, Bon Jovi is fully vaccinated and is said to be doing well. Members of the band who tested negative stayed behind and played for that Miami crowd. Trick-or-treaters were welcomed to the North Dakota governor's residence. This year, Governor Burgum dressed up as a Department of Transportation employee to promote the state's DOT system.
He's continuing the long-standing tradition of giving out candy to families, and children also learned about the different equipment that's used to work on roads throughout the state.
We do have thousands of jobs open in the state of North Dakota, including in DOT. So if anybody's really interested, we're hiring, of course. But it just great because we know that what kid doesn't love a big truck?
Trick-or-treating at the governor's mansion dates back several decades.
Yeah, hire them while they're young. Recruit them while they're young, I should say. Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question today is: the average person will go through 2 bottles of this every year.
The answer? Ketchup. Probably even more in my house.
Yeah, I actually kind of think that's a low estimate even. Who doesn't love ketchup?
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start. But remember, the Valley Today rolls on right now. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.
Have a happy Monday, everyone.